If you have a new CRM, any new piece of software, even if you have new staff coming into your business, you will need to design some type of training to help new staff or existing staff learn new platforms. So I'm sure you've been there before, either delivering training or going into software training, and you have probably been in the situation before where you have seen that it's so boring and it doesn't really help you do what you need to be able to do. And that is a huge keyword about the training that we create for our staff, is that we need to provide them with the opportunity to learn to do what they need to be able to do. Not to throw at them every single piece of knowledge that they may need to have to be able to use a platform. No, the training you provide needs to help your staff to be able to do what they need to do. So then how do we get away from this boring onboarding training that shows a staff member everything in a new platform? So I wanted to share some of those tips with you today. And these tips focus around a term of just-in-time learning, meaning that we're providing our staff with the opportunity to learn what they need to learn in that time. So before I share with you 4 different ways of creating really fun, different types of courses, the main thing to focus on is, what do your staff need to know right now? What do they need to be able to do right now in the platform? So if it's a new staff member, what do they need to be able to do in the first month, in the first 2 months, in the first 3 months? And then once you focus on what they need to be able to do in that time period, you can then focus your training on just that and deliver just-in-time learning. So let's have a look at 4 tips of how you can create courses that aren't this onboarding, boring course that goes through absolutely everything. Tip number 1, provide access to a knowledge base. And not just a knowledge base that is full of information, but a knowledge base that is purposefully designed to have very short responses that are to the point on very specific questions. So a staff member, when they're working in a platform, they can easily find information, for example, how to update a contact, how to add a meeting, how to add a contact note. And when we have very specific questions in our knowledge base, we have very specific and tailored questions. And what this helps is to provide the opportunity where your staff members can use the knowledge base and quickly find responses to what they need to do right now. And so this might be useful for a new staff member. It might be useful for a staff member that's learning a new platform. It might be useful for a staff member that has forgotten how to do a task because they don't do it often. So this is a really good place to start to provide the opportunity for your staff members to start to look for the answers to what they're doing in this current time. Tip 2. You can turn some of these knowledge bases into mini courses or micro learning courses. So they might be very short courses, 3 to 5 minutes, that focus on a particular task. Now, again, this must have an aim on focusing on what your staff members need to be able to do. Not a mini course that throws all this knowledge at them, but a mini course that specifically shows them what to do. So it might be a mini course that talks about how you can add a contact to your platform and then how you can turn them into a lead, or how you can add a deal to it. So a very specific process that someone will do often in your business and they will need to do often. So if they've forgotten how to do that process, they can quickly launch this mini course or this micro learning and remember how to do that process as and when they're doing it. So that is a really great opportunity for your staff members to be able to quickly find the solution to what they're doing at this current time. Number 3, provide on-the-job learning opportunities. So this one, be careful with this one as well, because you don't want to create the culture where someone always asks someone else, hey, how do you do this? Or hey, how do you do that? You don't want people to be in a culture where they're just used to asking other people and then disturbing other people from their work or using other people's time. So you don't want to create that culture. You want to be very careful in how you do this. But by providing on-the-job opportunities, you can provide new tasks to people. So for them to be able to learn how to do something with all the mini courses you have and the knowledge base you have, you might provide a staff member with some new tasks to do. And you might say, use the knowledge base and use the mini courses, and maybe ask your peers as well how to do these tasks. And as they're doing this new job, they are also learning the new system. So this is really useful when you are onboarding someone, and when they might be towards their end of their onboarding phase, so at the end of that 3 months, you can start to give them new tasks to do. And as you're giving them new tasks to do, you're providing them with on-the-job learning opportunities. And finally, number 4, do provide onboarding for your new staff or your staff who are learning a new platform, but only provide the pertinent onboarding courses that are specific to what they need to do right now. So at the beginning of this video, I spoke about how you need to identify what does your staff member need to be able to do in 1 week, 1 month, 3 months, and then create your onboarding courses that are specific to what someone needs to do in their onboarding time. Okay, not what they need to be able to do in 1 year's time, or not what they need to be able to do in comparison to someone that's been working at your company for 5 or 10 years. No, what do they need to be able to do in their onboarding phase, and then create onboarding courses for their onboarding. So I hope this short video has been useful for you and some ideas on how to create training for your software platforms, your CRM, for new staff or existing staff, but how to create training that isn't boring and helps to retain the knowledge and skills that your staff will learn from these short courses that you have created.